But we must get to the news, and we start with the Fox News alert. Anti-ICE protests erupting across the U.S. with thousands of clash-filled demonstrations taking place in cities like Los Angeles, Austin, and Minneapolis.
As DHS releases new video showing the minutes leading up to the fatal shooting of Renee Good.
Our own Matt Finn is live on the ground in cold Minneapolis with the latest on this entire event. Matt?
Hi, Rachel. The protests here in Minneapolis seem to be growing larger. Yesterday, a massive crowd, thousands and thousands of people gathered in Powderhorn Park in Minneapolis. That's a notable location because that is where former Minneapolis City Council members announced their now failed campaign to dismantle the police here in Minneapolis, and that really sparked a nationwide movement. Now, yesterday, after the demonstrations in that park, also similarities to the George Floyd riots in 2020, protesters marched down Lake Street. That was a much different scene yesterday because in 2020, many portions of Lake Street were set on fire during the George Floyd protests and riots. And here are some anti-ICE protesters.
They're not out here trying to detain criminals. They're out here trying to incite chaos. And just, it has to be stopped.
I have always been surrounded by a lot of immigrants and my family and my roots, so I'm here to stand up for what I think is right, and we as a community are here together.
Now, Minneapolis police say well over 1,000 protesters and some rioters damaged parts of the Renaissance and Canopy hotels downtown Friday. 29 people were arrested, one officer injured after being hit with a piece of ice. And there's also new video leading up to the moments of Renee Good's shooting death by an ICE agent on Wednesday. The video appears to show Renee Good's SUV attempting to block the street and honking the horn. Now, Border Patrol here on the ground, they tell us it is dangerous for agents to be blocked in by a car because there are so many anti-ICE agitators who quickly surround them. And Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, along with other House representatives, say they were denied full access to an ICE facility here in Minneapolis yesterday.
This is just one more example of this administration and Kristi Noem violating the law. This is an out-of-control Trump's ICE.
When people are disappeared in the darkness, American democracy dies. They are not only disappearing people who have committed crimes, who are in this country undocumented. They are disappearing U.S. citizens.
Now, DHS fired back, saying members of Congress were notified that their visit was improper and out of compliance with existing court orders and policies which mandate that members of Congress must notify ICE at least 7 days in advance of congressional visits. DHS also says Representative Omar basically led protests, cheered these protests on at the ICE facility. Back to you guys in New York.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks, Matt.
Hey, Charlie, and Griff, do you guys remember Bill Bennett? He wrote a book called The Death of Shame.
Yes, indeed.
That's what I think about when I see Ilhan Omar just showing her face. Like, does she know shame of everything that's just happened in the Somali community? That she clearly knew what was going on in that, and she has turned a blind eye. She's defended it, and here she is, talking about all of this and getting on her high horse and really instigating and fueling so many of these riots here and protests against ICE, just trying to get rapists and murderers off the streets. I keep wondering, why, you say who's funding these groups? Why don't we know more about these groups?
True, but real quick, about Ilhan Omar, you are right. She's not only fueling these protests, and sometimes it gets violent, but she's also fueling the anti-ICE rhetoric that is causing the ICE agents to have a 13% 100 increase in assaults on them, a 3,000 plus increase in vehicular assaults. But at the end of the day, Ilhan Omar is entitled to her opinion, but not entitled to her facts, as the saying goes. And she is spreading this narrative that ICE is out to kill citizens and round up and disappear U.S. citizens. It's preposterous. It's not true.
Lies.
And actually, the people she's protecting, as we just pointed out earlier today, a illegal immigrant from Laos was convicted of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old child, then was allowed to roam free in Minneapolis because of the sanctuary city policy. And now ICE has a duty, an obligation to be there, and she is spreading a narrative that is totally false.
Yeah, they also picked up a Somali murder as well, an illegal immigrant Somali murder. She didn't say anything about that.
So if your political platform, if your political effort right now is to defend child rapists, which is what Ilhan Omar and other Democrats in Minneapolis are doing, if that's your safe space in terms of like your political platform, what are you running away from? You're running away from the biggest fraud investigation that we've seen certainly in my memory of covering politics, and as we've spoken to yesterday and today to our reported that this is we're just looking at Minneapolis, but this is going on all over the country. And earlier in the earlier hour, we talked to Dustin Greggy, who's a columnist based in Minneapolis, talking about some of these protests, and this is what he had to say.
There was a lot more energy and ultimately a lot more flames in the summer love. Right now, the winter love isn't quite kicking off to what it used to be. And simply put, it's because of videos like this that have recently come out where we're seeing 3.5-minute narrative busters where DHS and President Trump ended up being correct from day one that this woman was impeding on law enforcement. She knew exactly what she was doing. She wasn't simply a mom dropping off her kids or in the wrong place at the wrong time. She had been following them all day at this point and ultimately honking her horn, smiling and dancing to the beat of it. And ultimately, how do we get here? It's because of politicians like Tim Walz, who came out here, labeled these ICE agents as Gestapo, and Peggy Flanagan, our lieutenant governor, who told these activists to, quote unquote, put their bodies on the line.
Yeah, and politicians like Tim Walz, but also really ungrateful immigrants like Ilhan Omar. Yeah. She is also fueling that. And he's so right. As more angles come out, the story from the ICE officer gets proved over and over again. And these guys should be eating crow right now, but they continue to stand by their narrative because this is all about politics. It has nothing to do with what's right for the city of Minneapolis, the neighborhoods that are being set free from having rapists and murderers, and that wall was incredible that you had up.
And this may work for Minneapolis politics for Ilhan Omar, but I can't help but think that broadly speaking, nationwide, this does not help Democrats.
No, and history is going to look at this and say, as that report said, how did we get here? And they're going to look at the longer arc to realize that one president, Joe Biden, opened up the border and greatly put America's public safety, national security at tremendous risk by releasing more than 12 million illegal aliens from all over the world.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.